Hi Genshin Goons, as most of us just recently got Xinyan, I figured it'd be fitting to talk about her and Thoma. What does Thoma have to do with Xinyan? Well, they're both pyro shielders who can pulse pyro damage at an interval. When Thoma was announced, I was curious to see if miHoYo learned from Xinyan when balancing and designing Thoma. My initial thoughts pre-release was yes, they did. But now that I've had a week to figure out Thoma and try him out a bit more, is my thought still the same? Let's talk about it. So, when I mentioned about learning from Xinyan, I personally feel that Xinyans Kit is very flawed. At a glance, she's designed to be a shield bot at base, 0 constellation, and a physical damage main DPS specializing in spamming charge attacks at C6. Xinyan's shield can also pulse pyro once every 2 seconds if the shield reaches level 3 Rave. So, she can apply pyro, provide a shield, and be a physical damage dealer. Sound familiar? Well, here's the kicker. Her shield scales off of defense, and so do her charge attacks once you reach C6. Nothing else does. Her pyro damage, her burst damage, her normal attack, her elemental skill damage, none of these things benefit from building defense at all. And I'm confident in saying that you'll probably do more damage if you didn't invest in defense as per what they want you to at C6, and just build her with the traditional crit damage, crit rate, and attack paradigm of attributes. If you do go for the traditional attributes, you're left with a very weak shield, which means she doesn't really get to pulse pyro because you need the shield to be active and alive to have that interval application of pyro damage. So that just makes her a worse Razor in the physical damage department, as at least Razor has electro abilities that can be used to trigger superconduct, and he has some pretty impressive normal attack ratios as well as good attack speed augments. I even attempted to build an elemental mastery Xinyan at one point, trying to capitalize on her ability to shred physical defense with her elemental skill while being able to proc elemental reactions like melt or vape with Xinyan. However, her damage ratios on those procs are not worth it, honestly. Even with like 300 or 400 elemental mastery and some good attack, it doesn't do that much damage because it has to feed through a damaging attack with poor scaling. And if I'm going to invest all the elemental mastery and attack and crit rate and crit damage just to neglect the shield that will be destroyed in 1 or 2 hits, I might as well build Xiangling, who can do it better and provide way more procs of pyro per second. Of course, I fully recommend people building and using whoever they want, but that doesn't change the fact that Xinyan's Kit doesn't mesh well with itself. And therein lies the fatal flaw of Xinyan. Her kit does not work with each other. The scalings on each thing just pulls the player in too many different directions, and you have to put so much into her just to have her be average. Sorry Xinyan mains, I love her as a character, but her kit definitely could use improvements. So, here comes Thoma. Upon reading his kit, it seems promising. His shield scaled off of health, his talent scales his burst damage to 2.2% of his max health, and at C6 he provides a 15% damage boost to normal, charge, and plunging attack for anyone covered in his shield. He was designed to give you a shield and be a shield bot. And this is where I feel like miHoYo did learn from Xinyan. Mostly. Thoma provides synergy in how he can be built outside of his passive level up being attack percent up, which doesn't make a lot of sense to his kit, but hey. Yeah. If a player doesn't want to try anything new, they can just stack health on him and they will be fine. That's pretty clear and easy to understand, and they'll benefit from just having more health to scale his damage as well, even if it's a little bit. However, I feel that the cool part about Xinyan and Thoma is their potential for build variety that gets destroyed by their low damage ratio on their pulsing AoE pyro damage pulse. Both of them have some mediocre ratios tied to their skills that will require a ton of attack, crit damage, crit rate, and elemental mastery to make good, which then lowers their defensive capabilities. If their shields are going to be weak and basically non-existent anyways, as I mentioned before, you might as well just use Xiangling. Copium aside, I do understand where the community is coming from as well. Thoma being designed and built just for Hu Tao, that I can see, but I'm not happy with that. I'm not a big fan of the trend where every 5-star needs a 4-star extension of their kit, and only their kit. Of course, I'm not saying that you can't use somebody like Thoma and Kujou Sara and Gorou on other characters. It's just, it fits too well with a 5-star and it's very enticing to pull them, but at the same time, it feels very limiting for them as individual characters. Because each of these 4-star augment characters are so powerful, when working in tandem with certain 5-stars, they have to be limited or capped in their power budget somehow. But then we got somebody like Bennett and Xingqiu running around, providing basically everything for anyone. And I guess this is their solution moving forward with 4-stars. They don't want to make another Bennett or another Xingqiu who's just way too good and just pushes out every other 4-star characters from being viable or very, very competitive in meta team comps. But of course, that's just my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, if you enjoy a character, that's all that really matters. I do wish that Thoma's ratios on his normal attacks and on his burst was a little bit higher, so that way you could build him as a physical damage main or a elemental mastery Thoma if you really wanted to. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. How do you feel about his kit? Is it cohesive? Should future 4-stars be tailored to specific 5-stars? Do you like the trend that miHoYo has started building out with Kujou Sara, Thoma, and soon to be Gorou? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.